cultures, when they say you're a helper, you can be abused. You can't talk when I talk. Shut up. You shout. You denigrate. You insult. You threaten. And so look, this thing about what God has said, if the world is going to get better, if men are going to achieve their highest potential, you need the help of God. Every woman, as you come into a man's life, don't ever come as somebody who is dependent. Come as somebody who understands that I'm on assignment as a help, and without me, you will never get there. It's a kind of a tango. It's a very delicate balance of understanding and spirituality for you to appreciate God's plan for mankind. Because if you come from a background where everybody who is called a help is abused, especially in Africa or in some Asian countries where a man is considered to be superior, or in some Arab countries, a lot of things are culturally defined, not spiritually defined. And so a lot of women behave culturally. And a lot of men, even though you are married, you are behaving culturally, not spiritually. And you will understand as we talk, because in some cultures, a man must never apologize, even when he's wrong. So there are men here, you've hurt your spouse, and yet, me a bema. And so the marriage is being destroyed. Me na me a bema no. Because you don't want to learn. Is somebody with me? So what are we saying? God, the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmate. Man was alone, but he was not lonely. Because he had the animals, he was working, naming all the other creation, tilling the ground, etc. So he was not lonely. But he was alone because when God created every other person, every other creation, he created them both male and female. But when he created Adam, he created him alone. And so to complete Adam, God was bringing Eve. If you are sitting by your spouse, tell the person, you came to complete me. So you have to understand that she came to complete me. All the men, let's say it together. She came to do what? Complete me. She didn't come to be used. She didn't come to be exploited. She's not a tool to be discarded. She comes to complete us. Hello? Hello? I know many people marry for many reasons. I'm marrying because the way I'm going through, I just need somebody to help me. So any man who comes, I'll marry him. And he has money, he will look after me. You see, all those, that's why I've said the foundations well. Because without the foundations proper, you are going to have challenges. And me, I only marry because I want children. When I have children, that's okay. No. No. I came to complete you. The man says, I'm looking for a helper. So I went to God. The woman says, I'm a helper on assignment. Give me somebody to help. And God answered your prayers. And you came together to complete each other, to fulfill God's bigger assignment. So both of you are going to appreciate each other. And that's why we usually say, this man stands by your side and not at your feet. And so for all the young men, especially in Choco, and who are listening to me on Facebook or social media, let's get the foundations very clear. God is bringing you a valuable contribution and addition to your life. She's coming to fill the gap and to complete you, not to drain and take away. The question a woman needs to ask herself is, what am I coming with? And the man says, I'm receiving, so I'll treat it with much appreciation. So let's look at 3 foundational principles in this. What will happen in a marriage relationship? Number 1, share. You are going to share your life. When you marry, why do we marry? We marry to share. We're alone, but not lonely. We are going to share what we own. I'm bringing something to share with you. I will share my joys. I will share my pain. I will share my life experiences. And remember, who you are and what you own is what you are going to share. So, for example, if you marry somebody, again, this is just an example, who lives in a house where there's no water, he can't share water with you because he doesn't have water. Because what he has is what he will share. If you marry somebody who doesn't have electricity, he can't share it with you because he doesn't have it. If you marry somebody who's angry, who is kind, what he has is what he will share. So I'm going to share my life with you. All that I've been formed with, all that I've gone through, I'm going to be sharing it with you. If I'm a light-hearted person, I'll share it with you. If I'm a jovial person, we'll laugh together. So that's what I already have. But then there are some things that I will also learn that I don't have. Do you understand that? So I understand that I was formed before you came. So that's what you come and meet. But I realize that some of the things I'm sharing with you, they are creating problems. Or they don't help us. So now there are things I have to learn. So I used to be very stingy. But I realized that, So I will learn not to be stingy so that I can also share that with you. I didn't know how to dress. But now I will learn how to dress so we can share. Is somebody heard me? So there are things that you already met me with. But there are things I'm learning. Why? Because I want to continue sharing with you. I don't want to leave you behind. I don't want to be above you. I want to share with you. Number 2 is the concept of help or mutual support. It means that both of us are going to be complementing one another. God said, and I will make you a help. A help. You were doing something, I came in to help. So both of us are going to be supporting one another, standing with each other to make you complete. God has sent you help. And number 3, it says help meet. It means that a help that is appropriate. I respect and honor you. So why do I marry? I marry to share with you. I marry to support you. I marry to, number 3, respect and honor you. Never to disgrace or dishonor. It means that there's going to be a language of respect for who you are, for where you have come from, and where you are going. Somebody say respect. Say respect. Say honor. Hey, are you here with me? Say respect. If you are sitting by a lady, tell her, I'll respect you. No, turn to the person next to you, tell the person, I'll respect and honor you. So you will find out that the Bible talks about respect and honor. One of the things why I want to marry you is that I want to respect you, I want to honor you. Can we have that? Are you ready to commit to that? And that because I respect you, there are things I'll never say to you, there are things I'll never do to you. Why? Because I respect and honor you. I have high value for you. If you are caring already, you will send the care into your relationship. You know, there are some people say, when it was my birthday, I was waiting for him to buy me something. He didn't even mind him. That's how he was. That's how he was. It's not new. Now he has to learn it. So now we'll teach him. It's a new thing he has to learn. Do you understand that? So there are things you didn't know you will learn to improve. Because the foundation is that I want to share with you. I want to help you. I want to respect and honor you. When these three things are there in any relationship, listen, it will work. It will work. Every time, judge your actions by these things. Am I sharing with you? I'm no longer hiding anything from you. Am I helping you? Do you find me helpful? In fact, one thing my wife constantly does, which sometimes can be quite, is that she come and ask me, am I helpful to you? I have to look at her and say, yes. And I think once in a while, you should all ask each other, am I helping you? Am I helpful to you? Do I respect you and honor you? Is there something I can do to show you more respect and honor? And you find out that because, you see, you want to help, your communication is even couched in a language that is not disrespectful and dishonorable. You don't just throw words in the air. You don't just walk off as if you have an entitlement mentality. When I'm talking to somebody I respect, I behave well. Immediately I misbehave, I know that respect is going down. And anything that loses respect loses value. And when anything loses value, it becomes useless. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. All I'm doing today is just setting the foundations so that when we start talking about other things, it will make more sense. Because sometimes when you just jump into roles and responsibilities, it's as if one person has a burden. No. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11 and verse 13. 1, 2, go. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. When I became a man, I did what? When I became a man, I did what? There are some childish things that must not be seen in a relationship. Look, there are some things take and put away. He says, I put it away. I decided that this will no longer be a part of our relationship. It is away. Somebody say, away. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Now, I know that when it usually comes to talking about marriage from the pulpit, I'm aware. It's as if there's a lot of bashing for men. No. Listen. That is not my intention here at all. Even though I know a lot of men or boys will be guilty. Because you see, you become the mainstay of whether things work or things don't work. So a lot of responsibility will fall on you. And unfortunately, men are not prepared to learn. Because they think once they are their head, nobody should advise them. But submit yourself. I'll show you. A man must be under divine authority, under Christ. And so listen to the word. Listen to the word. Your spirituality is tested by your ability to love, not by your gifts. So the more of a man and the more spiritual you are, the more you love. That is why the responsibility is husbands, love. Because the strength of a man is in his ability to love. Not be rash, not just open your mouth and talk anyhow. Verse 13, it says, and now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. The greatest of these is charity. So one of the things that you must aspire is to be a person who is described by the action of love. God is love. He doesn't have love. He is love. Everything he does is done with love. It's done through love. So one of the major things all the men, haven't you realized that is many wars are created by men? Many exploitations of nations, men. Many situations that destroy the world, the male species. Because when you lose this component of love, you will destroy a lot of things. So one of the major things we need to is men who love God, men who love women, men who love their wives, men who love their children, men who are trained to love, not to exploit. Why is there so much corruption in this country? Because men haven't learned to love. They exploit. They undermine. Within the love quotient, one of the greatest assets in a great marital relationship is your love. It's your love. And that is why one of the things, even though it is not natural, one of the things you train a man to do and to say regularly, I love you. I love you. It's not a natural thing. It doesn't come naturally. But you must do it. Why? Because you are training yourself to be somebody who loves. And as you know, many men, the only time they say I love you is when. But you must wake up and learn to say I love you. It's called non-sexual love. Just affirming that I'm a person who can love. That I love and I'm sharing my love with you. And so there are men, when they get married, the women stop hearing the words of affirmation, I love you. When was the last time you told somebody I love you without a sexual connotation? You see, when you are not married, it's very easy to say it. Because something they do you. But it is the time for you now to say, I love you. And it doesn't have to mean anything sexual, but it's just who I am, sharing who I am with you in kindness, in caring, in protection, in providing, in treating you well. I love you. I love you. I have a few more minutes, so let me just go on. Within the love, the whole ambit of love is a very critical component called commitment. So when I say I love you, it means I'm committed to you. It doesn't mean I want to have sex with you. It means I'm committed to you. So young men, young women, when you hear those words, I love you, what does it mean? Hey, he loves me. Oh, no. Understand it well. Don't let it just mean I want to have sex with you. Let it be I am committed to you. So it's not just the fleeting passion, but it's a commitment. And that's why marriage provides the environment in which all these things work. Because if I have sex with you and you have a child, I'm committed to you and the child. I'm not just committed to you, I'm committed to you and whatever, and I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to stand with you, and I'm going to respect and honor you. Ruth chapter 1 verse 16. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go. Whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Verse 17. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death but thee and me. Wow. Somebody say commitment. Say it again. So when I say I love you, I'm committed to you as a person. So she said, I'm committed to Naomi. Ruth said, I'm committed to you. I'm committed to you. Don't ask me to leave you. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to the church. I'm committed to my wife. I'm committed to my children. There's a commitment. So love is not just a feeling. There's a commitment. There's a what? A commitment. There's a commitment to me. Number 2, there's a commitment to where I am in my current state. You see, I met you somewhere and I said, I love you. It means that I'm not going to return where you lodge in your current state. I commit to where you are now. You may be broke, you may be living in a ghetto, you may be confused, but when I say I love you, I'm committed to where you are now. I'm committed to you being a cleaner now. I'm committed to you being at this stage of your life. You know, there are people who meet somebody at a particular stage of their lives, and then immediately life changes. They change their commitment. So when I was in school and I was broke, she was cooking for me and bringing me food and helping pay my school fees. So I love her. But immediately I finished my school, I'm no longer committed. How many of you have heard cases like that? I've seen many like that. Because people don't understand, my commitment is to where you are now. And then number 3, to where you are going. Because you will move. You will change. So when I got married to you, you were slim. When I got married to you, you had a job. But you are moving on. You see, I'm committed to where you are going, your future. I met you in a place, but you are moving on. There'll be changes. There'll be stops. There'll be twists. There'll be tears. There'll be laughter. But I'm committed to where you are going. Number 4, I'm committed to what you belong to. It says, your people shall be my people. Your people shall be my people. When I married you, you came from a group of people. I'm committed to them also. Your people shall be my people. You see, marriage has a lot of twists, because you have to deal with in-laws. You have to deal with the person's friends. But I'm committed to you and your people. That's your father. Maybe he didn't live well. That's your mother. Maybe she didn't. But once I say I'm committed to you and your people. And then finally, I'm committed to your faith, your God. What you believe in. Your God shall be my God. 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 Marriage is beautiful. It is ordained by God to help us on earth. Let God's help come on this earth through you and your marriage. Is somebody hear me? And that's why we pray. That's why we ask for God's help. That's why we submit ourselves to the Lordship of Christ, so that He will help us. We don't do what we want or what we feel. We do what God wants us to do. And we submit ourselves to God and ask for grace to help us. We want to make lives better for people, for our children, for one another, for the faith that we so dearly hold on to. And so one of the things I prescribe for every couple is your ability to serve God together, to hold hands together and pray together, to fast together, to give together, because your God shall be my God. You didn't marry just to stay in a kitchen. You didn't marry just to have children. You didn't marry just to please yourself. Your God shall be my God. And so let's serve to God together. I want to see couples come to church together, excited about God together. I want to see in a relationship, beautiful serving God, going on outreach, attending prayer meetings, fasting, going for all nights, winning souls together, praying together. I have learned all these things, sometimes with a lot of pain, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You see, if you allow young people to define marriage, they'll define it by their feelings and by their pleasure. But you find out that if you allow older people to define marriage, it's different. Because what drives you into marriage is different from what sustains the marriage. Hello? God must be served with our marriage. And so as we soberly think and reflect on these things, I want to remind you, it is not good for a man to be alone. Maybe you've never appreciated your spouse. Maybe you've never thought of these things. You've only thought of yourself. Maybe for you, marriage was just a stage of life. And after you had what you want, I can leave it. You don't think that way. I'll leave. You won't leave. You will stay. Because it's bigger than you. It's a sacred relationship which we honor, which we take very seriously. You see, today you may be young. You may think that, oh, I can do everything, but you will grow. Every time I go to a slum area, one of the noticeable things is the old men who are alone, who struggle. When you are young, think of 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Today you are young. But I warn you, you will grow. And to grow without help, it's a painful thing. So you start thinking. And you prepare for your future. Is somebody with me? And so we are going to hold each other. This month, I'm going to be praying with you. I'm going to be trusting God that you receive your help. I'm going to be praying for people who are looking for partners to marry. I'm going to pray that you receive it as God-given help. I'm going to pray that God open your eyes to see the beauty. And like Dr. Otabil shared with us, it may be mad, but the potter will make it again. He'll build it again. Don't despair. No. It is your greatest legacy on the face of the earth. For you to marry, have children, reproduce by the grace of God, and to honor God with your marriage. Shall we rise on our feet?